like 3 cameras. I'm testing out my YouTube and see if this works. So here we go. Anyways, the message today I wanted to share with you guys is you got to show up to go up. And the reason this message came up for me today is because I just finished a workshop, and this workshop is really about, community connection, building our community. Okay, so this is why it's important to show up. Is the last 2 years is we have spent in the pandemic, and now we're craving. It doesn't matter whether you're an introvert, extrovert. If we are meant human beings to connect, we are human beings meant to connect. And I'm going to tell you this because it's so important to know that for you to make your business out there, for you to put your business out there, whether it is a business, whether it is a nonprofit, whether it is a blog, whether it is a newsletter, whatever it is that you're trying to put into the world, you got to go out there to share your message. And this is why it's important, is because when we show up, we build connection. We see people who are interested in us. Remember, people who are, you're talking about interesting things, that are also interested in you, knowing more about that. Okay. And here's a little story I'm going to share. A few months ago, I was at the Chamber of Commerce here in Oregon City, where I live, and I was invited to show up at the men's forum. And my first process was, why would this guy invite me to a men's forum? I was curious. I wanted to know more. And the reason he invited me is because recently what I just had gone through, taking care of my husband, and then also understanding that I was telling him that I need some men who can model for the African fashion show. I need some men who are in middle-aged men. Okay. I mean, I have a lot of younger men in my community for the African fashion show, but I was looking for more middle-aged men to be in the fashion show. So, of course, I showed up to this event. My brother ended up coming with me. Yip to my brother Daniel, who came with me. It was his birthday weekend. And I showed up and I got to network with amazing doctors and some philanthropists and people out there in the community. And I recruited about 10 men who are going to be the models for the fashion show. And what that led into, it also led into a sponsorship opportunity that somebody offered to sponsor the fashion show for next year. As you guys know, I just recently announced the fashion show next year will be August 24th. I'll do a video a little bit later at the end of the week, next week, talking more about the fashion show. So why it's important to show up again is because we are human beings. We crave connection. We crave connection, and building connection, it also builds our rapport. And here's a couple of things that I wanted to share about you with you guys as we're building a community, how it's important, how we show up. Go to networking groups, sign up for networking groups, go to those free networking groups. Pay for those networking groups, whatever it is in your community. Just look up on Facebook, look up on what is it called on what is this called, meetup programs, this application Meetup. You can look up under there. There's so many networking groups out there. Put a post on social media and ask what a networking groups is in your area. So that is number one things you can do to connect, is join networking groups. I'm part of the Chamber of Commerce here in my community, and I love getting to know other businesses. I love being involved. And then number two is go to the outdoor events that they have in their community, farmers market, antique shows. You never know who you're going to connect with. It is all about you getting out of your comfort zone, you being out there. I did this past weekend. I went to an antique show out in Oregon City, in downtown Oregon City. I got to meet local vendors, local entrepreneurs who were just starting. I actually invited one of the entrepreneurs who had a very similar things that I do. I invited her to be one of the vendors for the African fashion show next year. Again, it's important to get out of your comfort zone, be out there, be in the environment where you can learn about somebody else's business. Every time we're curious, and it's an opportunity for us to learn about what's going on in our community, other business. And then number three is really about share someone's business on social media. And this is why it's important on social media or in the newsletter, or or talk about them. And this is why the energy you put out into the community is the energy that comes back. Universe, God knows that you're out there sharing, pouring your love by all these amazing businesses, supporting small businesses. And then people are easier to refer you because you are always you're always promoting their business. And I do that with small businesses that I support in my community. I'm always, when I buy that product, I'm giving them high fives, I'm posting them on social media, I'm giving them a 5-star review on Google, a 5-star review on Facebook, whichever it is. So again, an opportunity for you to put the energy out there, to invite the energy into your community. And I do that through my newsletter as well. When I talk about other businesses, what's coming up next, when you guys read my newsletter, you see what's happening, inviting other businesses into my community and, just spotlighting them and giving them a high five. And then number 4 is really sponsor an event. Sponsoring an event gives you a spotlight opportunity for you to share your story, for you to show up as an expert, for you to show up as an expert in your community, in your environment, what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to promote, what you're trying to create. Then you're in front of the masses. You get this opportunity for you to share your message in front of the masses. And then you're also helping this community or business or this event, support them with the funds. And then guess what? That person who's putting that event is also going to spotlight you in different ways. They're going to talk about you because you have supported them. And that's why it's important to sponsor an event. You're not only sponsoring, giving the money to them, but they're also going to put you on the high. They're going to give you referrals. They're going to send you business your way. And then number 5 is really go to conferences. Check out conferences in your community, go to conferences, go to network, step out of the comfort zone, get out there, be curious, and get to know about what people are doing in your area. Again, that's part of creating community, for you to invite people into what you do. What you do, what you're creating, whether it is, again, a business, a blog, a newsletter, a nonprofit, whatever it is, we got to get out of the comfort zone. We got to get out there and, build community and meet people and network. So go to conferences in your neighborhood, an opportunity for you to invest in yourself, invest in your business, because you believe in you believe in your business. So when you put some money in it, and then you're more willing to show up for the game. And then the other one is join a community, whether it is, a talking community, whether it is, what is it called? Toastmasters. If you are in public speaking, join something that you belong to that can emphasize a lot on what you do, because you get to practice, you put a little money into the game, you get to show up, you're committed because you put the money. Money is energy. When we put money into something, we're more willing to show up. And then when we show up, we get to meet all these people and we get to network. We get to also practice what we're preaching before we go out there in the masses and, get to talk in front of the big public, right? So again, whatever you're doing, join a group, a community that kind of that supports on what you do, so it can help you grow. Because when you're involved, people are going to talk about you. Oh, like this person that I know is in our Toastmasters, and she talks about this. Maybe you can hire her for your business. Oh, who and who this person is in this group, in this community group. Maybe you can hire her so she can talk about this and this. And it's so important for you to join a community, again, is because you are investing in you are investing in your business. And again, money is energy. All right, beautiful soul, that's all I had for you today. And I was testing out how this video works on YouTube. I don't know if it works, if it didn't, but I wanted to also give a moment to share some of these nuggets, because I just finished our workshop talking about showing up. And again, I want to share with you how important we are. We are craving community. We are craving connection, because we are locked up in the last 2 years. So anything that brings people together, food, gatherings, sharing your message through that. And I've been doing that this whole summer. I've had events weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend, which is my personal events, supporting clients' events, and also showing up for other people's events. And I've seen how we are hungry for connection and gatherings and, all of that. So to anyone out there who's just starting a nonprofit, starting a business, a blog, whichever it is, if you're putting your name out there, you got to get out. You got to show up to go up, so you can create that business model that you want to create. All right, beautiful souls, log enough. I hope you learned something new. Share with me in the comments what new things that you learned from this video, and I will talk to you guys later. So much love. Bye. let's see if this works.